What is going on, everybody?
What's good?
We are back.
What's good?
We are back with a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Why you point the mic at me?
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm with two special guests right now, but
Nah. You're
they
the
call
special
me
guest,
John.
man.
John Mason III, JM3, to be exact.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you
We're
for having me.
excited for this episode.
We're in Antioch right now outside. It's going down, man.
I know we got a nice little
It's
background
beautiful
today.
weather, too.
It's beautiful.
Little
It's not too
breezy
hot,
outside.
not too cold.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect California
It's lovely.
weather. Okay.
So what are we talking about today, guys?
So let's make this like an interview. We kind of want to get your testimony,
Okay.
the struggles with coming to Christ, and
Maybe talk a bit about how you got into music, too.
yeah.
For y'all who don't know, John, he makes music. JM3, I got a song with him, too. You know, check out Handsome, you feel me? But he got some
and
great
Parker
music.
and Morales, too.
Oh, that's this Friday. Oh, that's going to be dropping tomorrow by the time you're seeing this. If you're seeing this on
Tomorrow's
the day it
not
drops.
Friday.
Yeah.
No, but this drops on Thursday.
Wait,
This
what?
episode drops on Thursday.
But he said the song comes out Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah, so
You
it won't
start
be out by the
listening to
time
boys'
this is out.
music.
That's why I said tomorrow.
Yeah, man, come on.
Oh,
Keep up with the calendar,
yeah.
right?
I get it.
It's all
You're
good, all
confusing
good.
me.
Bro, I just learned something about calendars. I learned that, like, apparently, like, in Jewish times, there's, like, a Jewish calendar, and then there's a creator's calendar. It's crazy. Anyways, that's off topic, but
Calendars.
that just reminded me of that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
How was
Jimmy.
your guys' week?
Hey, man, you know what? It's been relaxed.
Yeah.
I got my family at the house. You feel
Oh,
me?
yeah?
So we chilling. How was yours so far? How's it
It's
been?
been good. Just work,
You been
school.
hooping?
No, I'm retired.
Come on.
Had to hang up the
Hooping
shoes
and
at
You
some
need to put
point.
that height to use, bro.
Had to hang up the shoes at some point. But
I
God's
like
got
that.
other plans for me. What about you, Josiah?
My week, busy. Yeah, we shot a video last Saturday, and
There
we
you
In
go.
the city?
in the city.
San
Yep.
Francisco.
On the BART and in the city.
Oh, on Bart?
Yeah, we got
Is that
some shots
Akko
on Bart.
Taco or what?
Huh?
Is that Akko Taco?
Akko Taco, what's that mean?
Awkward?
Awkward?
It is if you make it, like,
Yeah.
You just gotta put yourself out
people
there.
looking at you?
You just
Yeah.
gotta, people were looking, but it's just like, you just gotta kind of accept. But once you get started, I think it's when you're starting filming, it's like, you're like looking, you know? But then once
Right.
you start filming, it's cool.
Right, right.
But yeah.
Well, that's dope. Proud of you guys. I was telling them before we started filming, I said, if they ever need a feature, they know the
Okay,
guy.
let's hear something right now.
No. Can't put me on this spot like that. Coming out soon.
Coming out
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
But all right, let's dive right into it. You want to start with your testimony and how you came to God?
Yeah. So, you know, I was not raised in church, first of all, but I was raised in a Christian household. So we had godly morals and Christian like standards and stuff like that.
Right.
But I did not like being dragged to church. I have two other brothers. You feel me? One of them
Same.
passed away in 2020. But so my mom would drag me and my younger brother to church. Boom. We did not like it. But at the age of 16, that's when I really called on God from the heart because I needed him in a situation that I got my own self in. So in high school, I started smoking and doing stuff that teenagers do, stupid stuff like that.
Right.
But, you know, I didn't know back then that could lead to an open door to the enemy. And I was smoking hookah, you know, and it gave me super bad anxiety to the point where I went to the hospital and they told me nothing's wrong with you. They couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. 'Cause when they can't say what's wrong with you, then 9 times out of 10 it's a spiritual problem. They just don't have a name for it. So
what were you experiencing?
oh man, so it was like tormenting thoughts was being pushed on me 24/7. I was dealing with negative thoughts. I was dealing with anxiety. I was dealing with panic attacks.
So that's
I was
why you were
dealing with-
hospitalized?
I wasn't hospitalized. I went to the hospital.
Okay.
Because
to,
I
like,
told
figure
my
out the
mom, like,
problem?
take me to the hospital because I can't. I'm having nightmares. I can't eat nothing.
Yeah,
I'm losing
totally.
heck of weight.
Uh-huh.
So
And at that time, did you believe at that time, or you weren't believing yet?
I did. I always believed,
Uh-huh.
but I never tapped in like from my heart.
Okay.
And that's what led me. That's what led me though. So after the doctor said nothing's wrong with you, I just felt kind of hopeless. Like, man, I'm gonna be like this for. I literally felt like something was like on me. I didn't know what it was. I feel like there's a gray cloud that was just over me 24/7.
Right.
It took away my joy. It gave me anxiety. It made me feel hopeless, basically. I felt like an oppression on me. But I didn't know back then that's what it was, the enemy. I was just, because I was fighting flesh and blood. I was trying to see what it was. I was trying to find out what's wrong with my mind, what the illness is called, so I could get help that way.
Right.
But since it's a good thing, though, that the doctors didn't have a word for it, or that people couldn't help me, because if they would have helped me, I wouldn't have called on God as bad as I did. And me calling on God as bad as I did, I came to him with my arms like this, like, God, please help me. I don't want to be like this forever.
Right.
I remember I came home from a camping trip, and this was in 2013, and my grandma had
10 years ago.
My grandma we was around a campfire, so something had just happened in my family. We had a little incident or whatever. But after that incident happened, we were around the campfire and we were just chilling. And my grandma kind of did like a altar call around the campfire.
Wow.
She said, "Do any of you guys want to receive?" To me and all my cousins, "Any of you guys want to receive Christ?" And I was crying and I said, "Yes, me, please." And I accepted the Lord right there.
That's
and then
awesome.
after the camping trip, because even though I accepted the Lord, I was still going through what I was going through.
Yeah.
I got saved, but the oppression was still on me. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I remember forcing myself to go to sleep because I didn't want to be awake. I just didn't want to live no more, basically. And when I got home from that camping trip, I started calling on God for real. I remember being in my garage on my knees. I was like, "God, if you hear me, please help me." And I just kept seeking him, and I started having experiences with God, finding out how real he was, finding out just different experiences where I was like, "Oh, God really heard me."
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys one of the main ones that caught me when I was like, "Okay, God is real. He really does hear me." So I didn't want to tell my family what was going on, that I got anxiety from smoking, because really, you don't want to tell, like, that's embarrassing. Like,
So
I'm going, like, mental illness is kind of frowned, especially back then. Well, now it's more talked about, but saying you're going through anxiety or you're going through negative thoughts, kind of like, it's like, "Oh, you're crazy." Like, you don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
So they didn't know what was happening. They just knew I was losing heck of weight and I wouldn't eat because my appetite was gone. So my parents did know something was wrong with me. So my mom was always a Christian, and she said, "We're going to have a Bible study for you." So she started looking up healing scriptures because she thought something was wrong with my physical body, which is why I wasn't eating. But that's not what was wrong with me. So I was just waiting for her. I was in my dad's room, in my parents' room, and just waiting for her to get the Bible study ready. So while she was getting ready, she was having a whole encounter with God. She was having a whole conversation with God,
Right.
and God revealed to her what was really wrong with me. So
And did she know about the smoking?
She
at this
didn't.
time?
No, I didn't. Nope. I didn't tell nobody.
That's what God revealed to her was.
She didn't reveal it was because of smoking. She just revealed what God revealed to her, what to tell me to protect me from.
Oh,
And that's what helped
gotcha.
her. So when the Bible study started, she was like, "Okay, this is what God told me." God said, "Tell John to protect himself from the devil and to protect himself from negative thoughts." And then when she said that, I got scared because I was like, "How did you know I was going?" Because I didn't tell nobody I was going through negative thoughts. I didn't tell nobody nothing.
Yeah, you want to keep it on the DL.
I got scared. So I was like, "How did you know that?" But I didn't say that. That just scared me because I was like, "Oh, that had to be God who told her that." Because I was being attacked by the devil too. At that time I didn't know really it was the devil, but I knew I was having bad nightmares. I knew I was having attacks. I knew like something was just over me, just like grabbing me, oppressing me. Like I could feel it. So now I know that I'm saved. That was the enemy. But after that encounter, after that experience, I knew like to keep calling on God. It helped me not to give up. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep pressing. I'm gonna keep calling. Like there actually is hope. So that little bit of hope that I had, I was like running on empty. After that experience, it brought it up.
What are some things that, like, along the way, like, let's see, like if you were experiencing some difficulty or going through something, like how would you handle that in a sense?
Back then, if I was going through,
or like when you gave your life to Christ, what did like, did you pray? Were you educated on prayer?
I learned quickly.
Did you like go to community? Did you go to like pastors?
Okay, yeah. So I have to credit my church and my pastor, Faith Worship Center in Pittsburgh, because they laced me up and they taught me a lot on how to defend myself, because we are attacked by the enemy a lot, and a lot of us don't know how to.
Talking about some like
No, we don't know how to defend ourselves spiritually.
Church boxing, imagine. That'd be sick.
We don't know how to defend ourselves spiritually. When the enemy comes, a lot of us just take it, boom, boom, boom. But they showed me how to really press in prayer and how to use the authority that we have as well. And there's also, man, it gets deep. There's also this church that God led me to online, and I think it's in Carolina. It's called the Feast of the Lord, and an apostle there as well. I have to credit him as well. Thank God, he taught me as well how to fight against the enemy, how to basically be ready. So,
North or south?
I think it's south.
South.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cause I was going through, I was going through these tormenting thoughts constantly, and I was like, God, what's going on right now? And then I just heard. Now I know it's the Holy Spirit, but at that time I couldn't put a name. Well, it's just the thought just popped in my head, like, why don't you just look it up? It was like so smooth like that, like, oh, that makes heck of sense. So I looked it up on YouTube, and that church Feast of the Lord popped up, and it was actually they're doing like a delivering session, like.
What's that?
So there's times where people get delivered from demons, they get delivered from whatever bondage they're in or whatever they may be struggling with.
Yeah.
Mine's was the negative thoughts, and I forgot exactly what the video was about, but he said someone over here is dealing with negative thoughts. Be gone right now in the name of Jesus. And I felt like something leave me.
And like this was on Zoom, huh?
This is on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Wait.
Yeah. So I looked it up on YouTube, how to get rid of negative thoughts or something. I didn't even look up Christian or something.
So is this the church you're talking about?
This is that church channel popped up, Feast of the Lord.
Okay, so you were just watching the live stream.
Yeah, it wasn't a live stream. It was like it was
video.
pre-recorded of their service, and they just put it up
I'm
on
thinking
YouTube.
like this is like a Zoom call or something.
Nah,
and they're
this
like
is on
this group of people, and then you're just like on the camera, just like, wait, me? Yeah, that's what I thought you were
There's
talking
no
about.
limits on God. That's the crazy thing. I never thought about
And
that.
as soon as the apostle said that, I knew he was talking about me, because he was calling out exactly what I was going through, and I put my hands up and I was like, yes, Lord. And
Just in your room?
I just received it. Yeah, I was in the house in my dining room. So yep.
That's awesome.
Wow,
Man.
praise
That's
God.
so powerful.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It's just encouraging my faith right now, just talking about it.
Yeah.
Like all the things like God has done for us in our past. Like
You gotta hold on to that.
Yeah, remember the stuff God's did for you before, because it's gonna help your faith later when you're going through something tough.
Right.
You see so much in the Old Testament. That's like the common thing. The Israelites will like be going through like slavery or something, right? And then God delivers them from it, and then they're like, dang, it sucks to be in this desert, but they're like forgetting about what God did for them in the desert, and like don't know that God's gonna provide what they need. It's like, it's so true today. Like people forget every single time. It's gotta hold on to that.
Yes, I agree, bro.
What are some, to this day, what are some like temptations you face? Or do you ever want to like...
Are you trying to call me out right now?
No, I'm saying like, do you ever like get tempted to go back to like the smoking? Or is that like, did God completely cut that chain off?
Sometimes I do get tempted, because I was not really a smoker. I was just experimenting with it.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a thing that I would do.
Educate me real quick. I'm not the most educated on smoking or drugs
Me
or anything
neither.
like that. You said it was a hookah, right?
Yeah.
Is that addictive?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
So we weren't messing with the little like pen. We weren't doing the pen. My friend brought like the real hookah set, like the whole tube, and then he had the coals. He was firing up the coals, and
I've seen
like
Drake do that before.
Yeah, it was manny.
Sorry, Drake, if you're watching this.
Yeah, bro. Oh, okay. So like my temptations.
Yeah, do you
now?
ever get like tempted to like go back to that, or does the enemy ever like install that in you?
You know what? Sometimes I get tempted of just like wondering what like my life. Actually, I wouldn't even call that a temptation, because I don't even want to know.
That's just
honestly,
like being in your thoughts.
yeah, it's like I know God's goodness. Like I tasted the goodness of the Lord, and I have nothing else to like.
It's like once you taste that, it's like
Amen.
I don't need my old life
like
back.
the only
Yeah.
thing, bro, would be like the sex. Like, man, I don't want to wait for a wife. I want to go and get something right now, and that's easy, like easy access. But
We'll
that's,
definitely talk about that in another episode, guys. So stay tuned.
yeah, that's the main thing probably. But
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. That's I'm strong in my faith that now. Like, you gotta wait.
Gotta wait.
Got to.
Because there's so many, like,
It makes you more fulfilled too when you wait. Actually,
I feel like it makes it worth
you,
it too.
It makes you more fulfilled. Like you waiting for something. It's like encourages your faith. Like And you got that good feeling of just like living like clean and holy. Like you just feel good. You're not
Absolutely.
convicted. Your conscience is not messing with you. So
And I feel like when you fall into sin like that, it's like, it like almost like makes you like the cloud temporarily comes back, and so you like give it to the Lord. At least this is for my case.
Right, some
like
people.
whenever I like fall to temptation or something, I'm just like, I feel far away, and I don't like that's
yeah.
until
Like, yeah.
until like that like restlessness, until like, you know, like if I did you wrong, and then I was like, you know, and I wanted to go eat with you tomorrow, I would not be able to have a peaceful mind eating with you tomorrow if I did not.
I'm gonna be like, bro, you trying to eat with me after you just did that?
Yeah.
Wait,
press it.
rewind. Wait, what are we talking
He's
about?
just saying, like,
I was kinda
he's
like-
comparing me to like God in his relationship. Like, what if he did something wrong to me and he was like, hey, let's go eat tomorrow? I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
hold on, we gotta talk
Like, we
about what
gotta-
you did
we gotta work
yesterday,
it
bro.
out. We
You
gotta
owe me
talk it out.
$10, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
as if like you were God or something like that.
Yeah. But obviously he's not God. I'm not saying he's God.
I don't think any.
Yeah, I just.
We know that.
You know.
We know that.
Okay, yeah, I guess that doesn't need clarification. But
He's a great guy, guys, but he's not God. He's a great Christian.
Thank
but
you. Hey, that's the best compliment anybody could receive. He's a good Christian. For real though.
Or just
Bro,
a Christian
that's-
in general.
yeah, that's
That's like the #1 compliment.
it's crazy. That reminds me of like when I was younger, like people would call me like a square or a good Christian boy or like pastor's kid or something like that.
So
Well,
you
nobody
grew up
called
a
me-
Seriously?
Christian.
Huh?
You grew up a Christian.
I grew up a Christian. Nobody called me pastor's kid because most people didn't know that my mom like got like the pastoral license and stuff.
License.
But like
Let's go,
I would,
Karen.
I would get so shout out my mama. But I would just like
She's a
I
great
would
mama.
get so
Karen.
triggered when people would say stuff like that about me. I was like, I don't know. I wanted to prove them wrong, and it was like such a bad. But now, like,
Did you ever
even though-
punch one of them?
What? No,
Whoa.
I never punched nobody.
Was it people from like our school?
Huh? Yeah, our school. Mostly,
way.
I think it was more like.
Was
in
it
high
Jose?
school. No, I don't think Jose ever did that to me.
Who's
I had a
Jose?
friend.
I don't know.
Well, Jose was a homie. But anyways, that's besides the point. Sorry, that just made me think about when you were saying like that's the best compliment you could receive. It's like it truly is. Like, you know, like
Square.
not the
Never-
square
I've never
thing,
heard
good
of that.
Christian. Yeah, you never heard the square thing before?
You never heard somebody call somebody a square? Like, bro, you a square.
You never heard that?
No. I'm gonna say, hey, you're a circle. You're a trapezoid.
Like,
Josiah.
basically, they're saying, like, you're not cool. You're not with it, basically.
Yeah.
You a square, bro. Get
Really?
away
I've
from
never
here,
heard
bro.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
I
a
need to-
square. Get out of our circle.
Maybe I need to do some more.
That's more. That might be like more of
High
a
school
Bay Area
terminology.
lingo, probably.
Is that Bay Area?
I don't know.
Hey, let us know if you from out of the state or out of the
Do you
city.
guys say square in Arizona, New York?
Yeah.
Arizona.
Y'all say it in Ohio?
Do y'all say it in Canada?
Ohio.
What about your listeners in
What about
Spain
China?
and all that over there?
Spain?
I don't
Or
know if
like
we have
other
any
countries?
listeners out there.
I don't think we got listeners
He
from
got,
Spain.
he got music listeners in other countries like
Oh, I'm sure.
PodChrist
Because you
countries.
could see on like Spotify, huh? You
Like,
could see
bro,
like
like,
where.
how do you-
It'll be
Yeah.
like,
Like the
it'll be
region
like
you're from?
United States and saying the cities out here, and then like one random dude from like New Zealand or something.
Jerusalem.
Shout out to those listeners though.
Yeah.
Keep rocking with my boy
Yeah.
right here. The best is yet to
Hey,
come.
but let's get back.
Okay.
So so now you're making music for the Lord. So how did that happen?
Yes.
How did that happen?
Have we even said that he's a rapper? Have we said
We
that?
said it at the start, like we mentioned it, but we didn't get it too into
So
it.
yeah, guys, he is a rapper and he's a Christian rapper. Let's hear it.
Amen. I started making music. I started messing with it when I kind of first got saved. My mom was like, "You should start doing music."
Mm.
I was like, "Huh." I started doing music,
Yeah.
but I just started like writing stuff.
Scribbling.
I'm gonna start saying that.
Scribbling.
I just started
That's Bay
scribbling.
Area
something.
slang, boy.
I just started
Scribbling.
scribbling. No, real. I should use that. I just started scribbling a little bit, but
I'm making trends out here, guys.
yeah, I just started.
Come on.
Honestly, I started scribbling a little bit, but then 17 is when I really took it serious. Late when I was in December in 17, I was 17. My father just passed away, and I made my first like real song that I ever performed, and it sounded good because I showed my family, and they was like, "Oh, that's kind of good," and I winded up performing that song a lot of times. It's called "On My Way to Heaven," and that's when I started taking it serious. When my father passed away, and then when my family thought it was good, and I started doing it. So I was
And this was when you were 17?
18,
18, and
yeah.
you're how old now?
Now I'm 26.
So, what, 8 years ago?
Yep, just about.
Wow, that's awesome. And now Josiah was telling me you got like your own little show, huh? At the movie theater?
Yeah,
put together, like, a
I
show,
put
get some
together
performers?
a show called The Tonight Show,
Oh yeah.
where I incorporated the movie screen because I work at the movies too.
Oh, for real?
I'm a concessionist, but sometimes I'll be
You
an
get me
usher.
in for free?
We're gonna talk about that. Okay.
I haven't seen the new what's it called? Oppenheimer.
I thought you were gonna say the Barbie movie, bro.
Come on, bro.
You know what I just watched? I
Do I
just
look
watched
like-
the Gran Turismo movie
Do I look
today.
like that type of guy to you? Come on, Josiah.
Hey, bro, I actually watched the Barbie
Grand
movie.
who?
Okay, how was the Barbie movie though?
It was too political for me.
Political.
Too political.
Yeah.
That's a big word
It was-
for a Barbie movie.
They try to put too many like messages in it. Like,
Oh, you caught
just make
on
it
to it.
entertaining, right? Like make it
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
They try to do like the woman's rights too powerfully in that movie. But it was
We
alright.
love women. We're not
Oh,
not
yeah,
saying that.
especially
We
me.
love women.
What was we talking about? Oh yeah, the Tonight Show. So I would always be sweeping up the theaters, and I was like, "Dang, bro, I want to do a show here." And then one of my big partners, his name is Miles Minnick, and he used to work at the
Ooh,
same movie
Big
theater.
Miles. That's your boy?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to get him on the pod.
Hey, good luck. Good luck with that.
Miles, please. Come on. I know you don't know me.
Nah, I'm just saying because he be acting busy. But yep, that's my
Yeah,
brother
he
right
do.
there. But he used to work at the same movie theater I work at too. So he just quit when I just started. But then we ended up getting to know each other from the movies. But he told me how he did a show there one time too. For it wasn't a show.
Did
It was-
you have to like? Sorry to interrupt. Did
No.
you have to like buy out the theater, or since you worked
Yes.
there, oh, you
I
didn't get
still
it for
had
free?
to buy it out.
Oh.
But shout out to the manager because she gave me a plug.
Discount?
Yeah,
A little 50% off, maybe.
a little bit more.
Woo.
Shout
Praise
out the
God.
manager.
But it was still expensive.
Shout out the manager. What a,
Yeah.
Let's
What
go,
a lady.
manager.
Shout out Marissa.
There we go.
Miles had a he was part of a movie, and he showed his movie in the theater. So that's what gave me the idea. Like, okay, it's possible I could like have an event here. Plus, there was a church who used to rent out one of the theaters and have church in the theater too. So that was really
Whoa.
like So I was really like, okay,
Dude, that's gotta be some fire church.
yeah, it's called the Rock Church, I believe.
That sounds familiar.
The Rock. I know Church on the Rock.
There's a lot of rock
Yeah.
churches.
I know.
Yeah.
Do churches love rocks?
It's like that
The
parallel.
Rock, the one Rock, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Church on the Rock.
For
Yeah.
real.
The Rock, not a rock.
So I was
Not
like,
Dwayne Johnson, but
the Rock, yeah.
sorry.
It's all about Stone Cold, not The Rock. Anyways, I was like, yeah, bro, I could do a show here. And I started praying about it. And I was like, it's my desire. And I just wanted to make a real entertaining show. So that's why I used the movie screen and I showed different skits throughout the show. I had
Those are
dancers.
crazy.
I had the spotlight, my boy Ricky on the spotlight. And yeah, it was just a blessing. We had heck
That's
of fun.
awesome.
Josiah performed.
Come on,
Had
speak
some
to 'em.
merch there, too.
Salachi performed. Deshaun performed. John the Goer. It was just fun, bro.
Got
so I want
Kano.
Kano in there too with his
Zano.
Spanish rap.
Ooh.
Zano, yeah.
Little
Who else am
feature.
I missing?
You had
Lil
Kid Biz
Dev.
for like one song.
Kid Viz for one song where I got the hyphiest for the whole show.
Bro,
What
that
about
was
me?
so
Am I there
wild.
next time?
Huh?
Yeah.
Am I there next time?
Like
Yeah,
you
it's
wanna
good.
you wanna run the spotlight?
Is that what it means to perform? Because I know after we were done talking about him, we're gonna talk about how I came into like Christian rapping after.
Oh yeah,
I'm joking, guys. I don't do that. But,
He does though a little bit. He's starting
a little
to.
bit.
But
He showed us a little bit.
if
in
you
the
ever
car.
if you ever need me on there,
It's good.
I could work something up. I feel like
You know what I
Try
want to
me.
say to you? Do it.
do
Keep
it.
trying. Because when you put your all into something,
Send it.
God blesses that. If you put your dedication
Yeah,
and
but I don't
all
think
energy,
God-
but you got to go where He
I don't
wants you to
think I
go.
yeah, I don't
So
think he's making me.
there's a lot of people rapping. God's like, I don't want you to rap. I want you to do the lights. What's wrong with doing the lights?
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing's
If that's where
wrong with
God calls you to be,
Exactly, bro.
you can
That's where you're
change
gonna
the
feel
light
happy.
industry.
That's where you're gonna feel happy at.
If you following God's calling, the doors are crazy. So
For real.
Seriously. Yeah, I know you had some questions. You have them memorized.
you know, I did have questions, but they're on my phone, which is filming right now, and I kind of forgot. I was
got
gonna
'em. You
ask
sent
him
'em
his
to me.
name, but he already broke that down for us.
JM3.
You send them. To
I'm the
me.
third John in the family. Shout out my dad. Shout out my grandpa. I gotta hold it down for the Johns out there. JM3, John
So-
Mason the third.
Are you gonna? So one day, do you plan on having a fourth, or does it end
Check
with you?
this out, man.
JM4?
I gotta find a wife first, man.
But do you
But
plan?
actually,
You ever thought about that?
I have thought about it for surely. Shout out NK4 because he's the fourth too.
Oh, he's the fourth. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's where the fourth's from. Okay.
I might as well keep it going. John the fourth.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yes.
How does God speak to you?
Ooh. Can I
stealing your
say
question.
that's changed
Thank you.
over years?
Okay, let's hear them all.
Like I've heard the Holy Spirit, which is the first one, the most,
Heard
like-
audibly, heard in your mind.
in my
Dreams.
spirit, in my
your
spirit.
Okay.
The
So-
newest one, God's been speaking to me in my dreams a lot.
I've been
Because
praying
before,
about that.
one of my sisters, Mo, prayed over me because she was like, "Do you have
Shout out, Mo.
dreams?" I was like, "Yeah, I have dreams." And she was like, I forgot what she said. "Do they mean anything?" I was like, "I don't not be having crazy dreams." And then she just prayed because first
Naked at school.
like for real, like my dreams would be like crazy, like like I don't know what that means. It don't mean nothing. I was just discarded, like that was hecka random.
Yeah.
And then after she prayed for me, I started having dreams. I started remembering them, and I started thinking about them. And I was like, "Oh,
So,
that kind of makes spiritual sense.
let me-
Like God
let me
might be
ask
speaking
you.
to me."
So the dreams that you experienced, were they like Jesus or God was in the dream, or was it like terminology?
Terminology,
Like
definitely.
like he would like something would happen in your dream, and then that's kind of like going hand in hand with your life and your faith.
Yeah, second one that you said.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, I had a dream of this dude right here,
Yo.
which led us to create our Parker Morales song. I just had a dream.
That was based off a dream.
Yeah, because we were just hanging out one day.
That's sick.
We are coming home from one
is
of
a
our
dream?
friends' party or something like that. Nah, this
Oh,
is
okay.
so we came home from our friend's party or whatever, and then that night when I went to sleep, I had a dream that we were just I don't know where we were at, but we were rapping over like a Detroit type beat, and we are going back and forth, boom, 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 and then that's when I called you, like, bro, I had a dream. We should make a song
So
together.
where's the Spider-Man come in?
That
was random.
just a beat we
That was
found.
just
Yeah,
a
that
beat
was
we
random.
picked.
I
So
thought you guys were like slinging.
So God gave me that. He didn't tell me in a dream like Spider-Man, or nothing told me like do a Spider-Man song. It was just how the beat sounded
Wait
and
till
like
you guys
the
hear
metaphors
this,
and stuff.
This Spider-Man song.
That's just where the song
Josiah
ended
showed
up
me.
going.
Josiah showed me it.
And the cover art. What was the dude's name? who made the
Fire.
cover art?
Trey Perry,
Bro, he.
super
Whew.
OG.
Barred it up. I heard.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It was fire.
Okay, let's see. What else did Josiah write down?
Yeah, he has my questions because I texted him to him.
How was
Shout out to
good?
America.
Shout out to America.
Shout out to America.
For what?
For what?
Everything.
Everything.
Shout out to Africa.
Shout out to USA. How has God pushed you outside your comfort zone?
Ooh. I feel like a lot of us could relate to this by witnessing to random people we don't know.
Say that one more time.
By witnessing to random people we
Oh, I
don't
kind
know.
of forgot what I asked you.
Like
Okay.
in high school, I was hecka shy. In school, throughout my whole life, I was hecka shy. So when I got saved, I know God wants me to share His good news with people. And at first, that was kind of tough for me. But then it was like, all right, just hopping out my comfort zone and just doing what God told me to do. And it was tough, but doing it is the blessing. Like sharing the good news with people, because man, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of us, me included, don't do it enough. When there's so many people who are
Need saving.
unknowingly hurting. People are hurting, they don't even know it. They don't know why their life is, why they're suffering and stuff like that. It's because
Absolutely.
they haven't heard the good news. So,
Some people just need that invitation. They just need to hear it.
and some people are just waiting just to hear Jesus, and then their eyes would get bright, and the hope will start
changes.
coming. Like,
Sometimes, like, you won't even know, but that's like what they're praying for, is someone to come up to them and speak into
Yeah.
them. So any chance that we get, we should always capitalize on that. That's kind of what me and Josiah are doing right now.
what are you guys doing?
The podcast.
Mm.
Like speaking into people. And,
Nice.
and
Yeah. It's a lot different, though, than going, bro. That's something that I feel God's been really pushing me outside the comfort zone, like you were talking about, that, like, just talking to people. It's like,
straight up.
yo, it's like, yeah, because something that goes on, and I'm sure your guys' minds too, when thinking about it, is like, yo, are they going to receive this, you know?
Yeah.
Because God doesn't promise a good response. He
Right.
just, like, you know, there's times, like, I haven't had this instruction, actually only once, but that's a whole nother story. Like, you know, there's times where God tells you to, like, witness to someone. Sometimes God might tell you to give loving correction to a brother, and that's like all these things you're thinking like, how are they going to receive it? But honestly, that's not up to you. That's up to God. Our job is to be obedient, and
This
it's
is
going to work out for
I
us
got
well.
a question.
Yeah.
Have you, or this goes for both of you guys,
Okay.
have you guys ever like gotten a word for someone? Because I know you guys have like you've done like the bold way and like straight up just like, do you know Jesus kind of thing, or like you went up to them and did. Am I wrong? You guys did that, right?
Yes.
Did
I've
God
gone up
ever?
to people and said, "Do you know Jesus loves you? Jesus loves you."
Okay, let me ask you this: Did God ever give you a vision or a word, specific word to give to these people, like maybe like a gift of prophecy?
I gotta think about that one.
I got to think about
And
that
then
too.
like
I
they
know
look at
God
you and
has
then their
given
eyes
me-
light up, you know.
He's given me, when I pray, sometimes God just drops people in my spirit, like their face comes to me, like, and I could tell He wants me to witness to them. So
Okay.
not necessarily a specific word,
Yeah.
but I just know He wants me to tell them
Okay.
about Him.
I've-
So
The,
that
the
way-
reason I asked that is because this happened to me, and I've never had this happen before.
Okay.
So this was if you're watching this, you know who you are. This was at camp, and I was praying over this student because I was a leader at camp, and all the leaders, you know, we were just praying over students, you know, trying to fill these students and whatnot. And I prayed for this specific student. God highlighted this student for me, and dude, I kid you not, I was just praying, and all of a sudden, I don't even know what I'm saying. It wasn't tongues, but like I don't know what I'm saying. Like I couldn't remember what I was saying.
Really?
Like God was kind of speaking
Oh, you
through me,
was
kind of
flowing.
thing. God was speaking through me, and I do remember I said something about like a girlfriend or something like that in his life,
You
in
were
the student's life.
prophesying.
Yeah,
Giving him
yeah,
a
yeah.
word.
So, it ended up being true. Like there was like a girl holding him back from God, and I remember he just like he looked at me and he was like, "What?" And that has never happened to me before, so I thought that was like so cool. And I pray that God would give me more experiences like that.
Yep.
That's
more
powerful.
and more. Because we're here to honor His kingdom anyway. So
That's powerful. I didn't even know
that's
about.
a powerful
I
I
think you
told you
did
this.
tell me, but it didn't fully sit in my mind until now. That's wild.
God.
Yeah, bro, that's encouraging me too. Like, what an awesome thing to impact somebody's life like that. Like, that's amazing.
And that's why, like, that's the purpose of being a Christian. Like, obviously it's to serve God and obey Him, but it's also to spread into other people and give words to other people, bring other people home to Christ.
light of
That's
the
our
world.
job as Christians, to be a vessel or plant seeds in people. So
Wow. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Do you guys have any examples of like anything like that happening, like where you planted a seed in someone's life and then you see them like become a whole different person? It's okay if you
In the
don't.
process, yeah.
In the process.
Okay.
Definitely in the
But,
process.
You waiting for like that seed to grow.
Yeah, it's just like, I think the hardest part is pouring into the seeds when you may feel drained or exhausted sometimes. Because sometimes it's not always easy. Sometimes you're like, dang, like, I'll be like, God, like, sometimes it feels like this person in my life, like, just the seed isn't growing. I'm not seeing, but I'm trusting, but I'm not seeing. And I would express my like frustration, because it can be kind of demotivating when you're like, you're pouring everything into someone.
I have a
and you're not seeing
recommendation
progress.
for you.
I got something too.
God is the living well. So call on Him and He will fill you. That's
What are you saying? You feel empty when you're trying to pour into somebody?
It's not. I won't feel. Actually, yeah. Sometimes, like when I pour into someone,
you just feel
like,
drained.
It's
kinda.
like I'll be filled. I pour into them.
And like you don't see a
and-
result. Is that what
and
you're saying?
I don't expect like me talking to someone and boom, 180 right there, boom. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't doubt that could happen, but sometimes like over time, because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So like over this whole course of time, sometimes it could be a little demotivating. Like, God, like, where?
We got our highs and lows, bro.
Yep, highs and
That's
lows.
how it go.
But I say this, and you might be like, you know what? But also, you know, I've seen some pretty amazing things too, praise God. Like in my cousin, bro, I seen his life transform.
Right.
And like there's so many amazing things that I've gotten to witness too.
Let's
So,
go, Josiah's cousin. You got this.
Let's go, bro. What's their name?
Brian. He
Let's
filmed
go.
my
Brian.
video.
Shout out Brian.
Big
Yeah.
Brian.
Shout out Cuzzo.
Hey, you shouted out, bro. You're outed right now.
So I know we've been asking you a bunch of questions. You got any questions for us? Spiritual questions, regular questions?
What's your guys' favorite sport?
Football.
Sumo wrestling?
Well, to watch or to play?
Sumo wrestling.
To watch or to play?
To play.
To play, probably basketball. To watch,
See me.
definitely. Bro, I'll cook you, dude.
All right, we got.
What you say?
We got to. I said see me in basketball. And he
Dude,
said he'll
come
cook me.
on, man.
Bro.
And
we
you know what?
We
He-
gotta get.
Come
we
on.
gotta
He
get
probably
basketball
will.
game.
Come on.
He probably will.
Do I tower over you?
But he won't do it easily.
Come on.
Yeah.
But football is my favorite sport to watch.
I like
I
playing-
freaking love football.
Basketball or boxing? I also like football,
Oh,
but
boxing's
basketball or
the
boxing?
one.
Boxing's so fun, dude.
Boxing
is.
is the one.
Okay. Any spiritual questions?
Yes. How often do you guys read your word?
Every day.
Really?
Every day.
You guys don't go a day without reading?
I mean, it happens, but
Yeah.
I'm-
Like I didn't
I'm
read
the same.
yesterday, and I was like, man,
it just feels weird without it.
I wasn't convicted though. I was like,
I mean, you
God
know,
doesn't say like
things
you have
happen.
to read every day.
it's not like God's gonna like strike you down. Like He knows your heart.
Sometimes
you know?
God might put you in like, all right, I want you to read every day.
Yeah.
Depends
See,
on the
my
relationship.
thing is,
That's a case by case, you know?
I'll go a chapter a day.
That's
If-
what I'd be doing too.
If
Yeah, same here.
and I'll go in order. So I think right now I think I'm in Luke.
You're going from like start like Genesis.
No,
on,
no.
Okay.
I'll choose like a section
Like
that I
a
feel
book?
like reading. Like right now I'm reading Matthew, Luke,
That's what I'd be
John.
doing too, bro.
So I'm in
That's what's
I'm in
up.
Luke right now.
Uh-huh.
That's tough. But then there's some days where I just feel like reading more, and then it'll go. But then I also have like I have devotions I do, like daily devotions, and I know they got some on the Bible app too, huh?
You know, this is kind of unrelated, but what I was reading today, dude, it was pretty crazy. So it was about Moses. I won't go too long, but it just really stuck out to me. I wanted to share it with you guys. So this morning I'm reading Exodus right now, and
Me too, bro.
wait, are you for real?
Seriously?
Yeah.
No way.
I really am.
Me three.
Bro.
You lying?
You're capping. So, bro, it was this part where Moses was, like, where Joshua was going in to fight the Amalekites. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I pronounce it in my head most of the time. Joshua was going in to fight them, and Moses was praying for them for that battle. And so every time his arms were up,
Yeah. I'm around that same part too.
Bro,
I
that's
just
so
finished
wild.
like reading that part like 2 days ago.
bro, so, oh, okay, you ahead, okay. So his, like, every time his arms are up, you know, they're winning the battle, but every time his arms went down, they would be losing. So then his two brothers were like with him, and they got a rock for him to sit on, and then each of them held up one of his
Yeah.
arms, and I just thought that was so powerful. I was like, yo, you need brothers in Christ. Like, you
Oh,
can,
you got revelation when you read that. Because
I
when
was
I
like-
read that, I just read it like, oh, that's dope. But I didn't even think about the brother part.
wait, really? I was thinking like, bro, it's so crucial. And then the verse I thought it was like,
There's a hidden meaning behind everything.
like, you ever heard that verse that was like, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like,
This boat is
You know-
slapping. Hold on.
bro, gotta tell him about Parker and Morales. But so I thought about the verse. You know the I think it was like a two. It was like something like two is better, is like strong or whatever. But like a strand of like three is not easily broken. Do you know that verse?
Yeah.
Yeah, that verse like came to mind. And I was like, whoa. Anyways, that verse was crazy. You need brothers, or if you're a girl, sisters. You need community. Like we say this every episode. You need community. Like you.
Because
like,
the community helped Moses keep his hands up. And that's
Yeah,
what helped him.
and
Wow, I didn't
we
even
all
think
know
about
how,
that when I read that.
You know, crucial Moses was in the biblical
Tsunami
story.
over there, jeez.
Like he was so, like, you know, God did so much through him, but he needed, you know, people that God provided.
Like
you know?
Moses was powerful. God made Moses heck powerful, but he couldn't even keep his arms up.
Yeah.
So wow, yeah.
You know,
Moses
sometimes
needs
God's
revelation.
provision and strength
Moses
is
needs
provided
the
through people
gym.
around you.
So Moses need to hit the gym. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Bro, he said Moses needed to hit the gym.
I'm joking.
Oh.
Bro, I know after that Moses was probably like doing front races with his arms over and over, just like never again.
I don't
The
think
whole
so. He's probably
Exodus,
tired.
bro, because I haven't read Exodus in a while, so
Uh-huh.
rereading it is like I'm just refreshing.
I don't think
Well,
I've
this is
ever
my first
read
time reading through
Exodus.
Exodus.
Read Exodus, man, because you're going to see, like, all the stuff God did for the children of Israel, and they are still rebellious.
Man, but you're also 26, so he's had a lot more time than us.
Oh, you did not say
All right, I got
Okay, he's not like super old. I'm just saying he's had a lot more time to
Next
read.
PodChrist episode.
Actually, I have, yeah.
Huh?
Because I've been saved a long time, too, I guess. Like,
Yeah, you're acting like I'm dissing him.
Nah,
either
that
way,
was
you
just
got to get
funny
this
to me.
work in basketball, man.
All right, relax. We'll save that for after the episode.
Hey, but
I got one more question for y'all.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to share mine after.
Okay.
Dark spiritual encounters. Have you guys ever had some?
yes.
Like scary? Like
Yes.
not like scary, but like temptations, yeah.
I'm talking about, like, forces of evil. Like, you experienced an attack or you seen something.
Hold on, let me think.
I got something.
What you got?
I got two, but I'll share one of them. So
I'm saying because when I first got introduced to God, that's one of the things God spoke to me through my mom. To protect myself from negative thoughts and to protect myself from the devil. Because the devil is after us, and we need to, a lot of Christians don't know sometimes, like, the devil will actually manifest himself through people or just through experiences in life. So, yeah, share yours.
something that came to mind is I was sophomore year. I was toxic relationship. I've shared a little bit of that in my testimony, in the testimony episode. But something that happened one time, I was on the phone with this girl. You know, it was nighttime, and, you know, we weren't supposed to be on the phone, but we were on the phone. And then I just remember waking up to this noise, like it was this deep growling, like it was super distorted and disturbing on the phone. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I woke up. I was
Why
like,
you were on the phone with her?
on the other side of the phone? You heard
from
that?
the other side of the phone, like I heard it on the
that's
phone.
crazy.
And then so I was just like,
Oh, but
that's
you were
weird.
asleep. You were
I
asleep
was
and you
asleep.
woke up
I
to
woke
that.
up to it, and I just like,
Wait, so you guys fell asleep on
We're
the phone?
most
Yeah.
vulnerable. I feel like we're most vulnerable when we're in that unconscious state,
Yeah.
or we're almost conscious.
so what I did was I hung up. I was like, what the heck? Now get this, right? I just moved on. You know, the rest of the testimony, like, didn't think anything of it. And then fast forward, my current relationship, I was on the phone with my girlfriend Elena, and bro, one time we were on the phone, and I think we were sleeping on the phone, but it was cool.
Is
at
that a
the time.
thing?
Huh, that's a thing, I guess. Yeah.
Come on, bro,
and
don't
then-
act like you ain't done that.
No.
You was cupcaking, bro.
No. I
But then
promise
tell
I've
me-
never done that.
Bro, tell me why. She told me the exact same sound came from my phone. The exact same
Oh,
sound. I was like, yo. And this is kind of like, you know, I call this my BC days. Like, I was saved, but like I wasn't. I can't really say for certain I was saved, because like I believed in God and I believed in Jesus, but like I was kind of lukewarm. I didn't really, I was living a lifestyle of sin. So like, when she told me that, I was like, what the heck, So I mean, that's one example, but
I've never had anything like that happen, I don't think.
So,
And I pray that it doesn't.
let me
happen.
ask you, like, actually, I'm not gonna ask you that, but some I don't know, but yeah, I've been attacked a lot of times by the enemy, especially like in like nightmares or bro, like this one time I was in high school. You know how in high school you have seated. You have to be seated by the teacher, like you seated charts, like that's where you sit for the whole year or
Yeah.
the semester or whatever. And I was new to the class, like class just started basically. So we got our seating charts, boom, and I was sat next to this person, and it's the first day too, and I could tell immediately like there's something demonic with this person, like something's up with this person. Like I can't explain how, but I felt attacked.
presence.
I
Yeah.
felt oppressed by the enemy. Like I was struggling throughout that whole day in class. Like something's like
Something's up.
warfare's going on. I'm praying a little bit in the spirit. So I go home and I ask God, like, God, all right, what do you want me to do about this situation? And I heard God clearly too. He said, I'll handle it. And then so the next day, I'm not kidding. The next day,
God's such a boss.
the
man.
next day, this person was not sitting next to me. Like the person's seat was on the other side of the class or something like that. And you can't just move seats like that. So I'm imagining the person had to come up with an excuse to say to the teacher or whatever.
Yeah.
No, actually, this is not the next day. This is the day after, because the next day after I was attacked, the next day I went to class, I felt the presence got like a shield over me. Like I felt so much peace, like so much joy. So I can only imagine what
Praise
the other
God.
person felt like. They probably feeling tormented, like, oh, like.
I wonder
like,
what the person.
If it's darkness and evil, like, I mean, darkness and light, you know, they don't match.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what the other person felt like. So the day after that, that's when the person moved their seat all the way to the other side. So I know that person was involved like with witchcraft or something like that.
The first thing I think of is like that person's probably being tormented themselves too. Like imagine like you felt that sitting around them. Now imagine being the host. Now imagine living in that, you know? Like they probably
Oh, what's that movie called?
That was just a crazy story for me.
Nefarious?
Like Nefarious. That's exactly what that. You ever seen that movie?
No, I never.
Oh my gosh, I watched that like. I think I watched it at work.
That was just
I
an
wanna say I watched
amazing
it at work
experience
or
for
something.
me. Like
You
God
gotta
told me,
watch
he
that
said,
movie. That
he
sounds
said-
exactly what you're talking
Really?
about. Yeah.
God told me, he said, I'll handle it. And then the next day, that person gone. Like,
Whoa.
Okay, maybe not that, but the movie definitely has to go with. It's
What
about
was it
like
about?
it's about like the evil spirit like
This guy was like
possessing
possessed. And it's like about this lawyer that has to like prove that this person's either insane, so they're not fit for like the death, like the punishment.
Yeah,
death,
mentally incapable or something like that.
or they have to prove that they are mentally stable. So then, you know.
No, they have to prove that they're insane or not.
Yeah, insane or not. Yeah, and then so that kind of affected the legal stuff. But there was a lot of. It was a cool movie. It was definitely interesting.
It was a scary movie, definitely. I watched it at like 5 a.m. I think.
Bro, why would you do that?
this
'Cause
podcast is making
just
people
watching,
strong.
I was watching at work.
Hey, God's making people
It's-
strong.
That's what I'm saying. Like, God's using this to make people strong in their faith, to encourage them.
All right,
So,
well,
That's a prayer for you guys. You know, like, you know, if you haven't experienced like some of these things, like, you know, pray for God's protection still, because these things can still happen. And where can people check out your music at?
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, any and everywhere.
And what's your
where they got
Instagram?
Music. You can follow me on Instagram at JM3 from the P.
I heard it first.
What's your
here.
Instagram?
I don't have Instagram.
What's your email?
Disclosing that.
Okay.
He said, "I'm not disclosing that." He's
Some
professional
people
with
might
it.
want to inquire you to preach at their church.
Oh.
Okay, what if I get a bunch of spam emails though?
You know what? We'll
Block
make a
them.
booking. We'll make a booking
See,
form
that's
on the
doing
link
too
tree.
much.
But
Oh, were you asking like in a way if they need to contact me?
No, just like if they want to book you to do something, like I want you to speak at this event.
Oh.
and-
Devin Costa 182
Oh, you didn't have
at
to say that.
gmail.com.
You didn't. Watch
Hey,
me.
Oh,
it's
you're
okay. Bro, all good. but
you're
hey, y'all.
convincing me.
Right,
Have a
right,
blessed
right, right. JM3 from the P. Shout out Josiah Levi. Shout out my boy Dev. Be on the lookout for his rap music and his hoop
Coming
career.
soon.
He gonna pick up his hoop career again. We taking off right
I
now.
don't know about
Christ
that,
side, worldwide, bridge the gap.
Come
Everywhere
on.
we go, we hit our God step. Can I show America how to do the God step real
Let's
quick?
do it real quick. Show it to him.
Hold up, let me hit
Hit
my
my
step.
step.
That's it, man. 2-step.
2-7. He's not showing the other. The other half you got to find in the music
We
video.
gotta hit this outro
Oh, my
cipher.
gosh.
I'm chilling with the boys right now at the marina. It's going down right now for real. I don't even got to run for real. That's how I feel. You know, I'm geeked up. I don't need to pop pills. It's Parker and Morales. Holy living, holy culture. And I could see the vision. God's right there for real. He ain't pretending. It's like that. We in the building. We outside. We going live. All right, let me stop. Shout out to the PodChrist.
Oh, what about mine?
We out here.
Hey, we
Wait,
need
what
someone.
about
I didn't
mine?
want to put you on the spot, bro.
Come
Don't
on.
do that.
Yeah, we did a podcast. Now we're done. Hope you guys like it. Have fun.
Hey, man.
That was fun.
Come on, boy. Off the dome. Off the dome, too?